After a failed attempt in 2024, when ferry strikes from Quebec forced us to turn back, this year we set out with unfinished business. On July 25, 2025, the mission was clear: complete the Trans-Labrador Highway once and for all. Our route was ambitious, first crossing Newfoundland, then riding north to L'Anse Meadows before doubling back for the ferry to Labrador. From there, we'd follow the coast and ride the legendary Trans-Labrador Highway through to Quebec. Finally, we'd continue into the Maritimes, exploring New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Nova Scotia before catching the ferry home to Newfoundland. Over 5,000 kilometers of road, rugged landscapes, and an adventure to remember forever. It's a calm morning in Goose Bay, 15 degrees, blue sky, and a forecast that's already hinting at rain later in the day. After a full breakfast at the Mamattuk Restaurant, we load the bikes, fuel up, and get ready for another long push west. Today's destination, Labrador City, is about 530 kilometers away.
Alright, just like that, we're on the way.
Goose Bay feels like a true gateway to Labrador's interior. It's a mix of military history and indigenous culture, half modern, half wilderness. A place built around the airbase, but kept alive by the people who call it home. You can grab a great breakfast, fill the tank, and 10 minutes later you're in total isolation. It's the last taste of civilization before the Trans-Lab swallows you up. The bikes are running smooth with no sign of that fuel issue from yesterday. And sure, anyone can take a trip like this on a brand new adventure bike with all the gadgets, but where's the story in that? We're out here on bikes that have already earned their stripes. I'm riding a 2010 F650 and Mike is on a 2012 Super Tenere. Both old bikes, but solid and still up for anything. It's wild to think that this highway, this thin ribbon of asphalt, is what connects entire communities across Labrador. Without it, most of these towns would be completely cut off. It's more than a road, it's a lifeline. The Trans-Labrador Highway stretches ahead, endless forest, rolling hills, and that familiar feeling of remoteness. Every kilometre out here feels earned. Labrador is one of the world's last frontiers, a beautiful, rugged and majestic land that has remained virtually untouched since its creation. You can feel that wilderness in every direction, the vast stretches of forest, the silence between towns, and the sense that nature still rules out here. Just shy of 300 kilometres in, we pull into Churchill Falls for fuel. While topping up the tanks, a local woman comes over to chat, and when she hears we're riding all the way to Quebec, gives us a serious look and says, "If it rains, slow down. That dirt road after Lab City, it turns to grease." And she tells us she nearly slid off the road in her Toyota Tacoma just a few days earlier. Just outside of town sits one of the biggest engineering feats in the country, the Churchill Falls Hydroelectric Generating Station. Most of it is underground, and it harnesses the mighty Churchill River to produce more than 5,400 megawatts of power. It's wild to think something that massive exists in such an isolated place. Long before any of these roads existed, this land was home to indigenous peoples for thousands of years, including the Innu and Inuit. Their deep connection to the land continues to shape Labrador's identity and culture to this day. Eventually, as predicted, the weather closed in. Dark clouds loomed ahead, and soon we were riding in and out of rain.
Here comes the rain.
You can see the weather changing long before it hits you. The sky goes from bright blue to gunmetal gray, and the air gets that heavy feel, like the road itself knows what's coming. At one point, a flash of lightning lit the sky just off the road, followed by a loud clap of thunder. The storm was intense at times, but we carefully made our way through the worst sections and eventually arrived in Lab City around 4 p.m. The thing about the Trans-Lab is it doesn't give you adventure, it makes you earn it. The distance, the weather, the road conditions, they all test you in small ways. But that's what makes reaching the next town feel like a real win. Labrador City began in 1960 as a temporary work camp for the Iron Ore Company of Canada. Today, it's a full community that thrives around the mine, an important hub for travelers and truckers on the Trans-Labrador Highway. Out here, self-sufficiency is key. Riders carry spare fuel, food, and tools, always keeping one eye on the weather. After freshening up, we headed to Barbecue's Smoke and Grill, a must-visit spot recommended for this part of Labrador. The menu didn't disappoint. Ribs, brisket, pulled pork, all done right, and the best burgers in town. The beef brisket sandwich was absolutely divine and a perfect reward after a long, challenging day on the highway. After a big meal and a few cold beers, we headed back to the hotel. From here on out, we had no reservations, no plan beyond the next morning. From this point forward, we'd be taking it day by day, figuring out stops and accommodations on the fly. That was both unnerving and exciting at the same time. But then again, we're out here looking for adventure, so flying by the seat of your pants felt like the perfect fit for whatever came next.